Hello fellow 7 Days to Die gamers, and welcome to another how-to video. And in this how-to video I want to cover how to make and manage iron. Now that's gonna include iron scraps, metal strips, fragments, forged iron pipes, and so on and so on. And how to get to and fro scrap iron, metals, and iron and iron ingots and all that sort of jazz. Now, the reason I'm only going to cover iron and not the other materials like tungsten or lead or anything, because lead is used for other things, I want to do it because this is the first metal you come across when you start a new game. So when you start a new game, you manage to evade the initial zombie attack, whatever you want to call it, and you finally found a place where you make a little stone axe. So what you're gonna do next is you're gonna find these rocks, because you can only do so much with sticks. I mean, if you look at your weapons, the one thing you can do in the beginning, so say you have some wood, okay, and say you have some sticks. What you can do is you can do some basic weapons with wood, like for example the wooden club. So it's not really that useful. Or you can make straight away the crossbow, you know, where you need some of the grass. So let's just get some grass just to see that we can make it. So this is all the basic materials you have in the beginning. Now very soon you find that these weapons are not gonna do, okay? They're not gonna be good enough. So to make better weapons, you're gonna start needing other things like scrap iron, or, for example, in this case, iron ingots. You also need iron ingots for other things. Iron ingots can be broken down in forged iron. Forged iron, for example, a cooking pot, you need forged iron for. But obviously not all that, like a bed, for example, an old bed, you need iron pipes for, and so on and so on. There's plenty of barbed wire you need forged iron for as well. So there's plenty of reasons why you would need forged iron for, or pipes. Rebar frame, for example, you need pipes. Pipes are made, I go through all this process, but I'm just gonna go over it quickly. Pipes are made from forged iron, which is made from iron ingots. Iron ingots in return are made from scrap iron. Now I'm gonna go all over this again, so I just wanted to drive a point home that while it is easy to survive without iron for a while, eventually you find that you need the tools to progress faster. And to make these tools, you need iron. So in the beginning, you have only something as simple as a stone axe. So the way the game works is you break down these rocks you find, which take about 8 hits on full stamina and on high durability of a weapon. There you go. Break this one down as well. Excuse me. Okay, what you see here now is small stones, and you also get iron fragments. So when you start smashing up these rocks, you get iron fragments. So let's put the iron fragments here, and let's just pretend we smashed already a lot of stones into bits and pieces. Okay, so let's just say you've gone through a few of them. Now you don't need that many, but let's just say you've done a few of them. Now what can you do with that? Very simple. With the iron fragments you can now make, I don't think it will actually show up as a recipe because it's more of a destructive thing. So you take 2 of those and they will make 1 scrap iron. See, every 2 will give you another scrap iron. So let's just take these guys and make scrap iron. Now with scrap iron you already have a lot more options. With scrap iron you can now already make a an iron reinforced club or a barbed club with 1 scrap iron. Now, you still can't make the spike club, and I get to the differences in these weapons in a minute, because the spike club, yeah, iron ingots, you think massive, has to be massive. It's not all that what it's cracked up to be. So, but you can see it on the stats now in a minute. Unless the stats are wrong, it's not really worth getting into, but I go over that in a second. Now, you also will find, hey, if I want to make the new concrete, I need rebar frames, or rebar ramp frames. I need pipes for that. So how do I get now from scrap iron to iron ingots? Well, for that, you need the trusty forge. Now, in 10.2 hotfix, which was released on the 1st of December, GMT time, approximately 8 or 10 o'clock, I could be wrong by a couple of hours, they did something very nasty. The fun pimps thought it would be fun that you cannot start making a forge. When you started the game before 10.2, you used to be able to go into your crafting recipes and look for something called the forge. Once you, okay, this is a chicken and egg, you need iron to make a pipe, but pipes can be found very easily, okay? They drop actually quite frequently from zombies, so you gonna start smashing zombies and you find an iron pipe. Go loot anything you find. If you start near a wasteland area, I wouldn't recommend going in there because of dogs, but for the purpose of this video in general, if you go over there, you will find a lot of crates and lockers, and sometimes they have toilets. And these toilets, if you break them with your stone axe, it might take 12, 15 hits or 20 hits, but it's not the point. Toilets, when they break, they give you an iron pipe. So there's your one iron pipe, and you need the one iron pipe to make a forge out of stone. So it's actually quite simple. The stone you get from the rocks that you already destroyed. However, you will now find that this recipe doesn't exist in your crafting anymore. They have added in 10.2 that you need to find a book called the Forge Ahead book. It basically teaches you how to build your own forge. Now, while I agree with the fact that, hey, you know, let's not make it so easy to make straight away good weapons and good tools, because you also need iron ingots, actually the most important tools. Pickaxes, fire axes, shovels, anything that you need to be a good tool requires iron ingots. Shovel, pickaxe, iron ingots, fire axe, iron ingots. So they obviously don't want you to straight away get into this and make all these massive amount of tools. You can also find actually most of these tools in cars and whatnot, but they're rare. So by changing that in 10.2, which is good in a way to prevent you from progressing too fast, they didn't seem to have added any alternatives. So say, for example, there's no way to make a scrap iron axe, or a scrap iron shovel, or anything to do with scrap iron. There's actually a serious lack of tools you can make with scrap iron, and your stone axe is pretty crap. Your stone axe is very crap. If you if you find an iron vein in a cliffside, like over there, for example, you need to hit the iron vein about 30 times before it pops off and gives you an iron ore. That iron ore breaks down into 12 scrap iron. So this tool is crap. Now, potassium nitrate, which is the white stuff over there, I'm just going to quickly go over there to show you. You only need to hit that about 8 times, and coal you only need to hit about 8 times with the stone axe. So that's pretty good. But not having a shovel, you need to hit the ground about 8 times to dig down into it. So you won't be starting a mining company on a stone axe. So while I do agree that it's nice for them to make it a bit more difficult to get your forge, if they don't give you alternatives what to do in the interim, and more flexibility and more tools available to you that don't require a forge, then I think this is a bit radical. But that's just me, okay? That's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about that. Please let me know in the comments. Now, back to the point. You take this book and you find it, okay? You just have to go through the prefab areas and you find it, and then you right click and you learn it. Now, I already learned it because I needed to practice that this actually works, and so throw it away. And once you learn it, you can make a forge. Once you have gone through the bit of adventuring and you have your pipe, so you found your short iron pipe now, Okay, there we go. You found your short iron pipe now. You have some stones available. You can now make your forge. So, once you make your forge, hey, yes, we have a forge. The next thing you need is a mold. To smelt iron into iron ingots, you need an iron mold. Now, how do you get an iron mold? It's actually quite straightforward. All you need to find is anywhere on the ground or on cliff sides, but not only on cliff sides. You will find that on along rivers. You will find occasionally these red areas, like this one. Okay? And these red areas, if you hit them, I think, is it 8 times as well? 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. You get clay. Yay, clay. So what you do with the clay is you make a lump of clay. Now with the lump of clay, if you go to molds, and let's just type iron ingot mold. Iron ingot mold is made out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of clay. Once you crafted that, you go back to your forge. There you go. Place the iron ingot mold into here, and now it's expecting you to place some iron in. Okay. Now 6 scrap iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 scrap iron result in 1 iron ingot. They will take a 24-second burn time, so we put 3 wood planks in there. Anything that burns, you can put sofas in there, okay, for all anybody cares. Sticks, grass, it doesn't matter. No, grass, actually, you can't. Can you put raw grass in there? I actually don't know, I never tried this. Oh, whoops, no, click on the forge. Yeah, you can put grass in it. Okay, grass has a burn time of 1 second, so it probably isn't as useful, actually. Now, once you have your iron ingot, now we're rocking and rolling. Okay, so now we have more possibilities. So let's say you made a few iron ingots. Okay, you've gone through the pain and agony of making a few iron ingots, and now you're ready to upgrade your tools. Now, what can you do? You can start making a fire axe. Great, beautiful, 2 iron ingots, 3 sticks. You can make a gardening hoe. A gardening hoe allows you to start hoeing the earth to make it prepared for farming, and it needs 2 iron ingots. There you go, wonderful. Now pickaxe. A pickaxe is great for mining. Okay, wonderful. Let's do that. Let's do a pickaxe. 1, 2, 3 stones and 1, 2, 3, 4 iron ingots. Now you have all this now, and you think that's great. However, I can't make that. There's also a book you can find where you can make a big hammer, and which is awesome. So let's just say you found this. It's this guy here, basically, the sledgehammer. And this is pretty cool. Can you not make that? No, you have to find it in a book. Now, sorry, because this is my test build server, I just want to make it daylight again. There we go. Because this is not this is not a let's play about fighting zombies. This is about iron. Now you made all these tools and you're thinking, great, wonderful. Now what about weapons? And this is just something. I'm not going through all the weapons because this is just purely about the weapons that use scrap iron and iron ingots. The first thing you can make is a barbed club. Okay, with 1 scrap iron. Then you can make an iron reinforced club with 2 scrap iron. Then you also can make with, where's the other club? A spiked club with 4 iron ingots. That is 24 scrap iron. And this is actually the joke now, okay? So, and then you have the wooden club. For the sake of argument, I put it in. The wooden club, as you can see, has an entity damage of 4. Effect blunt force trauma, effect chance 100%. Means every time you hit something, it has 100% to be hit as a blunt force trauma. Now, I don't know if these effects necessarily apply to zombies. I think the blunt force trauma applies to zombies, but I know they don't bleed and suffer from disease, so bleeding and all that won't. The barbed club hits for 7.5 damage. Now remember, the barbed club was the one that needed 1 scrap iron, and it hits for 7.5 damage. Now when if you're on a PvP server and you play against other humans, it also applies a bleed effect, which is very interesting. Now the iron forced club, if you remember correctly, that required 2 scrap irons, but look at the entity damage. The entity damage is 5, while the barbed club is 7.5. So now we noticed, okay, this is actually weaker than this, so okay, this required an extra scrap iron, but it's actually weaker. Okay. What about the spike club? The spike club has an entity damage of 10. An entity damage of 10 for 4 iron ingots. I think I'd rather go around with a barbed club at 7.5. Because I don't think that extra little percentage of extra damage is worth 4 iron ingots. I mean, this barbed club is made out of 1 scrap iron. This club is made out of 6, 12, 24 scrap iron. Unless you have iron ingots to burn and you want that extra little bit of damage, it's not even worth it. I mean, once you actually can make a sledgehammer, that will probably be your #1 go-to guy, because your sledgehammer has an entity damage of 17.5 and it hits pretty hard. Okay? So the sledgehammer is basically your go-to weapon. But anyway, so this is all you can do with your scrap iron and iron ingots and the tools, and that's why you need it. Now, some people were asking, oh crap, I made all these iron ingots and I actually overcalculated, I didn't need as many. How do I get my scrap iron back? Well, that's actually quite simple. All you do is place it anywhere on the crafting table, and you get, for each of those, your 6 scrap iron back. So one of those, 6 scrap iron. There you go, and you got it back. So no need to panic. Now, what else can you do now? You have done your weapons, you have done everything you need, you're now better protected, you're feeling pretty radical, you're out to adventure. Now you want to build some structures. You're sick and tired of living in the prefabs. Now you want to get serious. You don't want to build with wood, you want to get hardcore. So, anything that you want to build, anything you want to build, like metal trussing or rebar or anything that is not stone, basically. Yeah, well, rebar frames is reinforced concrete now, but anything that is not made out of stone, like bricks, for example. Yeah, bricks are actually pretty weak, to be honest. So this is clay here, so bricks are not really that tough. So they're very good for aesthetics, though, if you build something that looks pretty. I haven't found really good use for bricks otherwise. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and if you found an awesome way, use for bricks, let me know. Then you have the scrap, which is made out of scrap. You have scrap iron walls and all that, but that actually gets quite expensive, because you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 scrap iron, or 8 scrap iron for 1 scrap iron frame. And then you have to upgrade it with another 2 iron and so on. So while they have good durability and very good mass to make big structures, it turns out quite expensive. Metal trussing, on the other hand, works out quite cheap. Or if I could spell, metal trussing works out quite cheap, because it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 iron. Now, how do you get iron pipes, and how do you continue from there? Well, if you take an iron ingot and instead of placing it here, where you break it back down into scrap iron, place it in the middle. Each iron ingot gives you 4 forged iron. You see? 4 forged iron. Now, forged iron can be used for a lot of things, okay? You can make a hard metal door from forged iron, which is pretty radical. You can make, you can use it to make a cooking pot. I don't think there's many recipes yet, and there's 1 or 2 other things you can do, but basically it won't be of much use to you. Oh yeah, and you used to use it to upgrade your rebar frames to cobblestone, from cobblestone to the reinforced cobblestone, but that's all gone. So forged iron, they need to add some recipes to make forged iron a bit more worthwhile for things, or maybe they remove it altogether, who knows. Anyway, the reason you need to make forged iron is because now, for each 1 forged iron, you get 3 pipes. So your whole set of 4 forged iron give you a total of 12 pipes. There you go. Now you have pipes. Pipes is what you need if you want to do some serious building, because either if it is metal trussing, or if it is metal ladders, or if it is anything else, metal strips, you need metal strips to repair your tools, which is the final stage of breakdown. So you take these first 12, for example, that we took, whoops, one too many, you get for 12, you get 60 metal strips. So the life cycle: 1 iron ingot results in 4 forged iron, results in 12 iron pipes, results in 60 metal strips. If you look at your tools, they require repair items, metal strips. Your metal strip states very clearly repair amount 10. So this one here has a durability of 500. After you use it for a while, it loses durability. To recraft it, a pickaxe, you saw it yourself, it takes 4 iron ingots. Not really that pleasant. To repair it, takes less than 1. Okay, because this is basically 600 durability repair. So it's a no-brainer. Okay, just be careful you don't click that craft button when you put your tool in there, or you're gonna not get the equivalent amount back. Now, also, forged iron. Look what you can do with exactly 4 forged iron. Boom, 6 scrap iron. You have made too much forged iron, don't worry about it. Just watch the fractions, okay? Because if you put 1 there, you only get 1 back. If you put 2 there, you get half, you get your 3. And 3 is 4, so you lose out on uneven numbers, okay? And 4 you get your 6 back. Because 1 iron ingot makes 4 forged iron, 1 iron ingot is made from 6 scrap iron, so hence 4 forged iron are also 6 scrap iron. 4 forged iron result in 12 short iron pipes. Therefore 12 short iron pipes also break back down into 6 scrap iron. Remember to put it not in the middle, but anywhere else in the crafting window. And you get your 6 scrap iron back. Again, fractional loss is even bigger here. 0, you get 1 back, 2, 3, nothing, 4, nothing, 5, nothing, 6. So again, always make sure you have these amounts. If you only have, for example, 1 forged iron left over, I would probably break it into 3 pipes and use the pipes rather than recrafting it into scrap iron, and then use the 3 pipes maybe to make a few more metal strips, which probably help you out more to repair your tools. So these metal strips, on the other hand, don't revert back into scrap iron. They're the last stage. They will not. Once you have metal strips, that's it. You cannot go back to scrap metal. So metal strips are the final stage, but you use them to repair tools, so you can never have enough anyway. So there you go. That's the full life cycle now here. I just want to get this picture clear. Okay? There you go. 12 iron fragments result in 6 scrap iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 scrap iron result in 1 iron ingot in the forge. 1 iron ingot breaks down into 4 forged iron. 4 forged iron break down to 12 short iron pipes. 12 short iron pipes result in 60 metal strips. Each of those iron ingots, forged iron and metal pipes in the correct amount will give you back your 6 scrap iron each. Boom. However, metal strips cannot be broken down into scrap iron, and scrap iron cannot be re-broken down into iron fragments. Okay? However, they can be made into 6 more scrap iron. So I think that's everything I can tell you about metal, about iron and its uses, and how to go from and to scrap iron to iron ingots and to and fro. The forge thing is a pity they added that in 10.2 without visible additions of any more use of scrap iron. So you're gonna be forced to look for that prefab area, and you're gonna be forced to use a lot more wood and work with wood to survive. So you probably will find that scrap iron, best weapon in my opinion for its amount of resources, you will find should use the barbed club along with your trusted crossbow that you should know how to do. Your crossbow, which is also one of the first weapons you will make, which is basically just sticks and grass, and then your crossbow balls, which are basically just these guys here, sharp stone, sticks and feathers you find in birds' nests and garbage bins. So never neglect the garbage bags. And that pretty much here will be your initial starter set of weapons and tools. Your stone axe, your barbed club, and your crossbow. And with these 3 tools, go collect that scrap iron, go smash zombie heads in, investigate those prefabs until you get that forge and that iron pipe, and then you can get serious in your crafting and in your tool usage. Go find those cliffs, mine the hell out of them, be wonderful, do amazing things, okay? And that is all once you get started with iron. It gets really amazing. Alright, so I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, leave the comments. I'm more than willing to update the video, leave annotations with updates as hotfixes come in and make changes. If the changes are too drastic, too radical, that annotations won't do, I will make a new video. So leave the comments, any questions you have, let me know, okay? And I hope you enjoyed it. Until then, this is Games for Kicks and happy gaming.